Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, joined by Ben Roy Turner of WhatCulture ahead of AEW Revolution to bring you the news. And let's dive straight in with the first story, which is about AEW Revolution and the speculation around who that major star, who that Hall of Fame worthy talent is that is going to be announced on tonight's show. There's a new report come out about it from Fightful Select saying apparently the AEW roster have now been clued in on who the mystery newcomer is, and somehow in the wrestling business, it's still been kept a secret, although apparently this is going to shock the audience, but in a good way. The speculation, of course, continues. We started off with the likes of CM Punk, Batista. I've heard RVD, Mark Henry, Kurt Angle released that video teasing us. Bully Ray's done something, I believe, as well. Ben Roy, if you had to put your money on one of them now, who are you going for?
I mean, because it's being hyped up so much, and Cody said that they're not going to do fake hype, and Tony Khan has been very good to us since this company has started, and he has claimed it's one of his favorite wrestlers. People have picked apart his Mount Rushmore wrestlers and it could be this, it could be that, but all the rest of the people on the Mount Rushmore are too old. People like Bret Hart, his time came and went back in like 2001. He's gone. So sorry, Hamflet. So if it's going to be someone big, the only person I think who's big enough anymore, like around and outside of my Japan knowledge, because I don't have the vast. I was thinking, could it be Okada? But then I don't know how what their contracts are going on like that. So I'm just going to say it is Chick Magnet, Cookie Monster, CM Punk.
I tell you what, to cover off all the bases, just in case, I'll say Brock Lesnar, and then if it's anything less than that, it doesn't really matter because we picked the two biggest names people have suggested. Although then again, I suppose John Cena's name's been mentioned as well, so who bloody knows? The
thing is, though, he's impossible because he's stuck in Canada at the moment. We have to remember that he was stuck. He can't make WrestleMania for this because he's filming that show as well. So, and unless it's via satellite, then it's just going to be even more underwhelming. Like, you really want someone who's going to commit to the bit and be a wrestler or be a big sort of shot for a couple of years. Like, I want at least 3 years out of this announcement. I'm putting that's my minimum, 3 years.
Well, regardless, join myself and Ben Roy for our AEW Revolution live stream to see our reaction to whoever it is, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess we should roll on to the second story, keeping it on Revolution. But we all knew that I don't know how public this was, but it was pretty much suspected that the Street Fighter was going to be pre-taped, right? A la the old Boneyard Match. So I'm going to call this the old Boneyard technique now from now on, because Matt Hardy can wrestle live as it is, whereas old man Calloway, loves his guns, and Texas Calloway can't get about anymore. So sometimes you need a bit of help. And Sting and Mr. Calloway are pretty much the exact same. They fill the same space in my head.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to fast forward to basically this has been reported on Twitter by a Justin
Barrasso.
Thank you for the save there. I'm going to say Baruso and just go, I said it wrong. It's basically done a thread, but a non-thread, the old days before we could do Twitter threads. So we've got one of three, saying that the match went down really well. Sting got his bits. Sting got his crap in there, and he's gone off well. The Brian Cage and Ricky Starks got in there and apparently showed off, and everyone was not protected, but everyone was sort of represented. And what are you looking forward to this? This might be the big surprise, the big popper of the night.
Yeah, I think there's they describe AEW as a buffet, don't they, often? And tonight's show is very much that in terms of whatever you want is probably going to be catered for tonight. The exploding, you can't say the words exploding barbed wire death match without people's ears pricking up. So I'm morbidly fascinated with that. But yeah, Sting's return, sort of. I know he sort of had semi-returns and he got sodding powerbomb the other week on Dynamite. But Sting and Darby Allin and this, I'm really intrigued. I say this is one of the matches I'm most looking forward to, as well as, of course, my best friend MJF winning the tag titles alongside Chris Jericho. That's going to be great as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what this looks like. And just, like you say, the early reports coming out from this pre-tape sound very promising indeed. And I don't know what they're going to try and do, because like you say, we still aren't really sure what Sting can do, how much he can go. But if the last few weeks are any evidence, he's going to be jumping off stuff alongside Darby Allin, if I'm perfectly honest. As long as the absolute peace that is Ricky Starks survives this, I'll be okay with it. But I thought the build to this had been a bit iffy up until
too
about
long,
3 weeks
basically.
ago. Yeah, exactly. Too long, and they just sort of did the same thing of, oh, here comes Sting, let's run away because he's got a bat. But the last 2-3 weeks, I thought have been spectacular, and I'm really looking forward to that tonight. Let's move on and talk about WWE briefly. There was a report over this weekend about the whole leg slapping policy. There was going to be fines allegedly being handed out, and more of an update now coming from Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer, basically giving you a report as to why this has suddenly come about. And surprise, surprise, it is because Vince McMahon saw one of his wrestlers kind of fairly obviously slapping their leg whilst throwing a kick on an episode of SmackDown. No word as to who that wrestler is. Feel free to speculate on that in the comment section down below. But that caused it. There is now allegedly a signage at the gorilla position that says, "Do not slap leg when kicking." And yeah, as I said, no real confirmation about how they're going to go about enforcing the ban, but rumors about fines being levied against people. Your mind is obviously cast back to Randy Orton shooting on all the guys at TakeOver. I think it was last summer, about them leg slapping. What do you think? Because I think this is a bit needless. This is all kind of part of the thing. It's a bit late now to say, don't slap your legs. People might notice.
It's just it's pointless, really. It's the least, in the pantheon of everything that is wrong with, say, no, I'm going to say everything wrong as in everything is wrong with WWE, but I've got everything that could be wrong with WWE right now. That's not one of them. Get over it. Like, just stop focusing on that. And how about you go and have a bit of a little nap, Vince, and we get someone else involved? Like, it just, I could shoot on this for the duration of the video, but I'm just going to be blunt. I don't care. Like, Shawn Michaels slapped the hell out of his leg for decades when he did the super kick, and it worked for me, and I don't care. If people are doing it obvious like that, like, it just looks like they want to spank themselves, and it's fine. You're be into what you want to be into, but it just doesn't matter, mate. It just, does this really matter? Like you said, you're not offended by it. Like, it makes a noise sometimes when they got microphones under the ring to amplify the ring noise.
Exactly.
It's stick microphones in their boots or something next time.
But it's just preposterous, especially the fact that he's suddenly decided in 2021, we're getting rid of it. It's just such a Vinceism to suddenly say, yeah, this has been established in the wrestling industry for decades now. Get rid of it. Stop doing it. I don't like it. All of a sudden, I've woken up on that side of the bed and decided it's not a thing anymore. But preposterous. The only thing that can make me feel better, Ben Roy, is our final story today, because I'm so excited about this.
So I think all of us at WhatCulture Wrestling enjoy the dark side of the ring to some extent. Like, I know I personally love it. You love it. Like I remember like our chats when every week comes out. Like me, you, Andy, in the morning to talk about going through each episode. Even like one with the slap heard around the world, and it's just so nice that we can get some takes from mainstream stories and then takes from, say, like other small stories and get almost the legit, because everyone's always going to be working in these interviews, but it's not going to have that WWE tinge of like, you can't say certain things in an interview, and you would never get this on a WWE DVD. They're going to apparently cover the plane ride from hell, which we've done list entries extensively about on the channel in the past, because it's just one of those things that you had to sort of be there, I guess, or you've had to get like the third or second account where, like, bring it back to a Big Man Calloway choking out Kurt Angle on there, or Ric Flair getting his little willy out, or who else, Scott Hall getting released. I just need to know what actually went down. Like, I just need to hear it from, especially JR, who said this is one of the darker times in his tenure at the company. So are you hyped? You're hyped for this, right? You really need to see this.
Yeah, I think, I wanted to differentiate this. We've had obviously very serious subjects that they dealt with over the years on Dark Side of the Ring. You think of, the Benoit tragedy, of course. You think of Owen Hart, etc.
Yeah.
But then there's other stuff that you can take enjoy. There's still serious subjects, but you can take enjoyment out of, like that. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm thinking of him.
That
his company.
Up wrestling promoter was just amazing, that episode. And now, what was it? Was it Mr. Perfect and Brock nearly opening a bloody plane door at whatever height they were at?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Like you say, we all know, we've all heard, talk about Ric Flair walking around with his robe open, and I think Gold Dust singing on the... I'm not exactly sure which bits of this I remember being told and other bits I've just sort of dreamt and put together. But like you say, it is one of the most fascinating stories, I'd say, in all of wrestling. And, the Dark Side of the Ring guys, we've chatted to them before. We've obviously featured a lot of stuff that they've covered. I think they handle the subject matter really well. They present it in an absolutely spectacular fashion. And yeah, season 3 is shaping up arguably to be even better than the first 2, which is a hell of an achievement. But yes, the just plane ride from hell. Sign me up, take my money. I cannot wait for season 3 to come about. But let us know your thoughts on everything we have discussed today in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts, including myself and Michael Hamflett doing a effectively ASMR review of AEW Revolution to not wake up the neighbors or our other halves whenever Revolution goes off the air a little bit later on. As I said, join myself and Ben Roy for our Revolution live stream immediately after you finish watching this news, and let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions for the guys doing the news. Actually, what am I saying? Guys doing the news in the morning? That'll be me and Andy Murray after the pay-per-view goes off the air as well. But let us know anyway at WhatCulture WWE. Well, actually, you can follow both of us. You can follow Ben Roy Turner at
Ben Roy Turner.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Go and join us right now for the AEW Revolution live stream reactions. He's been Ben Roy Turner. I've been Adam Wilborn. And we will see you soon.